Hello, it's me, Virgie, and I am coming at you guys along with Peter and Roslyn from my parents' new home here in Lake Worth, Texas. And this has always been one of my favorite things my parents have ever had. I can't believe that they brought it all the way from Cody, Wyoming. It's extremely heavy. However, it's this beautiful bench that I really love so much, and both sides have this goddess on it. And I think it's found a very good home here. You can hear hopefully you can hear the cicadas singing in the background. And yeah, there's just a nice little forest area for me here. I wanted to reach out to you guys since I have so many lovely comments from so many wonderful people wondering how I'm doing. Special shout out to you, Lynn, aka Rabbit, and to you, Karen, aka Earth Angels. You guys, thank you so much for all of your comments, always just your presence being here with me on this journey and the sharing of your journeys. So many wise words from so many folks, and I just am incredibly blessed by so many of you, Perry, Nabil, John, who leave your wise words in the comments, and Graham. And I really want you to know that although sometimes it takes me a while to get back to comments because it's such a value of mine to not be on my phone very often and to live more in kairos, timelessness, and slow time than in chronos, time, as in chronological time, I just want you to know your comments and your presence really mean a lot to me here. And on the subject of time versus timelessness, I would love to suggest a book that I read back when I lived in Australia for a year in 2019 that I'm not sure I ever let you guys know about. It's called Sand Talk: How Indigenous Thinking Can Change the World. It's by a man named Tyson Yunkaporta, and I will link to that in the About section. I really feel like you guys would enjoy it. It was the first book that really cued me into that difference between chronos and kairos, which is sort of an important way in how I view the world and entering portals of timelessness and what I like to call slow time. The main thing I wanted to tell you guys is that I'm doing well. I took a 17-hour drive from where I was living and working for several months in Star Valley, Arizona, and made it out here to Texas. My mom grew up on Lake Worth, so I've been here surrounded by loads of family. If you want to see some photos of that, you can friend me. You can find me on Facebook or check out my Instagram. I'll link to those down below. I do post more personal stuff there. And it's just been very healing to be with family. What I feel moved, what's coming through me to recommend to you guys right now that continues to be a daily practice for me, despite not really having time to do as much writing as I normally do, although writing is definitely a daily practice for me. Sometimes I voice record on my phone rather than write. I just want to encourage you to record your dreams and to begin to make it a practice. I believe that we have conversations with our dreams or our unconscious, whatever you'd like to call it, the larger collective consciousness, our larger selves. And when we start paying attention to our dreams and start showing that we care, our dreams respond in kind by helping us to receive more messages and remember them. And I say to myself, I would like to remember my dreams when I wake up. It also helps me to remember my dreams if I can wake up and then lie in bed for even 5 minutes, or kind of go in and out of sleep for like 20 minutes. For instance, if I set an alarm for earlier than I need to wake up and I'm able to go back to sleep for 15 more minutes, I will often then have like another set of dreams. And it's not all or nothing, you guys. Again, our dreams respond in kind, and even if we just write down the smallest thing that we remember, even if we only remember a feeling that our dream gave us, an overall vibe or ambiance, or one little detail, it's such a powerful practice, both in integrating what we're observing about our current lives and in going back over the process and progression of our lives over time to see where we've come from and what we were working on at the time. And just to give you a really cool example, last night I had a very interesting dream. Oh, here comes Raza May. Raza, do you want to come say hi? Come here. Come here. Come say hi. She's coming up. Roslyn. Oh, Roslyn May. Come here. Okay, that's as close as she wants to come. She's coming up from the dock. So last night I had a really interesting dream where I was back on a basketball court where I grew up in Cody, Wyoming, like in the rec center of this basketball court where I actually used to play basketball. And I was competing in the first competition, which was on the basketball court, and I had this pink basketball in my hands, and it was like the girls' competition first. And for those of you who have been following my journey, you know that issues around gender identity and expression have been important for me in coming back to my own authenticity, which is more of a sort of androgynous meeting between male and female as far as gender expression. I also use she, her pronouns and absolutely consider myself and feel myself as and express myself as a woman, and also just was always very much a tomboy growing up and really identify with the word androgynous. So I feel like that kind of, and you know, the body hair, just a second. So there are really loud fighter jets that fly over here every once in a while. So hopefully that was a good pause of a moment for you. So anyway, in this dream, I believe I was working out some of these thoughts about male and female and how we show up in the world and expectations. So I was in the first part of this competition where I had this pink basketball and I was with all the other girls, and the first part was what the girls were doing. And it was the girls seemed very small and I seemed very small. Not necessarily a child, just like small. And the girls were supposed to be doing this sort of performance that was like cheerleading. And I went out there first and I realized I had no idea what we were doing. I didn't know what the performance was. I didn't know what to do. I just thought we were supposed to be doing some kind of dance number. However, I just had a basketball in my hands, so I just did the only thing I knew how to do, which was like score a basket and score a point and make a shot. And it later turned out that that was actually also, like, making baskets was what we were supposed to do too, and was how we gained value and like won with our performance. It was just very unclear because I thought that as cheerleaders, we were expected to do all this other performative, routine-y, girly stuff. And so it really distracted me from being able to make more points. And because the next scene was that the boys then had a game, which was just clearly a basketball game, where they went and scored baskets, and that was clearly the only thing that they had to do to win. There were no other weird expectations or distractions around strange performative things like cheerleading dance routines, which I don't know how to do. And so that's an example of a dream that I had last night and remembered, and that as I'm writing down and recording about, I integrate into my consciousness of the things I'm working through right now. For instance, for me, even before I started having so much cultural conditioning around believing that my worth and my validity were contingent on winning and being good at things. I am a naturally competitive person. I am a Capricorn sun, and I am a naturally competitive human. I like competing. I like winning. I also like helping others who are on the team. I've always liked and played team sports. Very into softball, basketball, volleyball growing up. In high school, I was the team captain of both the basketball and volleyball team, as well as the editor of the school newspaper. So I've always liked being part of team endeavors and competing. And now that I've gotten more away from feeling like I needed to do those things for worth, I'm coming back to realizing I can set myself up in situations where I have a chance to win because I like competing. And of course, there's the idea of competing with myself and being the best. And so for me, that dream is like a sign of how getting too caught up in feeling like I had to perform as a girl at things that I didn't even really like cheerleading, never did cheerleading, distracted me from being able to win and be good at things that I actually really like doing, like playing basketball. And I have lots of dreams that take place on a basketball court. And I feel that part of those dreams are telling me, hey, you like competing. You like being your best and learning to play. And also very athletic. That's just naturally me. And so beginning to disentangle the cultural conditioning that I've very much gotten away from for the past 10 years. Like, I've really shirked and shed anything that has had to do with competition and being the best for about the past 10 years since I graduated college from Montana State University in Bozeman, where I graduated from after transferring from Northwestern University in Chicago. So for about the past 10 years, I've really gotten away from those kinds of things because they were kind of ruling me, if you will, like being competitive and being the best. And now I'm like, oh, now that those things don't rule me anymore, maybe I want to play the game now that the game isn't playing me anymore. And I feel like I'm excited to enter back into competition, just in, you know, even putting my creative stuff out there and letting it do its best in the world and playing the game in that way now that it's not playing me. And another example of that, I feel, is I'm considering going back to school. I'm gonna be moving to Tennessee this fall to live with my cousin Kat, whose mom, my Aunt Nancy, recently passed away. Kat is a therapist. I think I've talked a lot about her. She's a great inspiration of mine. And I'm considering going back to maybe get my master's or my PhD, possibly in psychotherapy, mostly probably to increase my understanding for my writing and speaking. Academia has also been something that I've always loved and naturally been drawn to. And again, I really stepped away for the past 10 years in order to not have that be a way that I was looking to get my worth and something that was controlling me. And now I have many, many, many dreams where I'm back on a university campus and I'm back in university and looking for myself there. And so those are just a couple examples of ways that for me, writing down my dreams help me to have a deeper relationship with myself and my unconscious. And again, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to remember every part of your dream. Even if you just write down or voice record a little part, your dreams will respond in kind. All right, I am gonna head out. We're going to the store soon with family. I love you guys and I hope this resonates. Mwah. Please comment, I would love to hear from you. I'll talk to you soon.